And hello, welcome to a new video about the semifinals, the second semifinal of the Austrian Legacy League Seasons End Tournament from the Season 7. I'm once again Peter Plank from the In Response cast, and I'm once joined again by Jonas Bauernfeind.
Yep. So let's jump right into it, because we already played the first Dragon Age Chandler. Short words about the matchup. I think it's on a deck-to-deck basis. I think it's quite a good matchup for Blue Red Delver, because it's just not as hard to play against the limited removal spells of Food Chain BANT than it would be to just play against BANT control, which can be annoying because just of the sheer number of interactions.
Yeah.
But on a player-to-player matchup, I think I lost most of my games last season against Tobias, because he's a good player and I just didn't match up well.
And I think we have here a judge call of yours.
Yeah, so as I said in the previous video, I'm also the judge in this tournament because we play like semi-competitive, regular, something like that. And here I forgot to decide board, and actually I just noticed it on my first draw while resolving a ponder. So
A brainstorm.
a brainstorm, yeah. So what I'm doing here is revealing all the cards that belong to the sideboard, and removing them, and replacing them with random cards from the library, which should be the appropriate fix.
Yeah. So you have to shuffle your library now?
Now I have to resolve the brainstorm first, because I know that I'm not allowed to change the two cards I already have drawn from the brainstorm.
Okay.
So that's the same set of brainstorm with one random card. I don't have to add any cards back because I just played 62 cards, and like there were no mainboard cards in the sideboard. And yeah, I think it was the correct fix. I probably should get a warning for this.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So you shuffled here.
Yeah.
Because if you don't shuffle here, you have to shuffle and then put two cards on top, because you search the library for the additional cards.
Now I would have to replace each of the if I have had two cards in the sideboard which belong to the main board,
you have to exact switch.
Now I would have to show all four cards to my opponent, and he chooses which card replaces which. So basically he chooses which card will be in a random portion of the library and which will be part of my brainstorm.
Okay.
So that's the ruling, just so that the one who made the mistake, in this case me, couldn't get an advantage, because they obviously would pick the worst card in the matchup to be in my hand. Yeah, but yeah, so that would be a little bit different if we actually had a judge here. But yeah, Toby is also a really chilled guy, and
he let you do your judge.
Yeah, he let me cheat a little bit.
So yeah, we're gonna see a brainstorm here on the side of Toby at the end of the turn, am I right? Yeah.
Pretty sure, yeah. And yeah,
I think he's missing no, he has another land drop. I mean, he has a Tundra and a Misty Rainforest in the deck, or in the hand. So we get to his turn, draw a turn, a Walking Ballista to hand. Should be a Prismatic Ending on one of the channelers, which is huge because it slows down the clock by a lot.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I was talking about right now, in regards to the difference between full control and mid-range combo.
Yeah.
If he has 8 removals spells, it's not just 5, it's just way harder, because he can do that more reliably. Maybe he can remove the second one next turn more often, which just slows me down.
Yeah. And something that I also really, really like in those matchups is like, when I'm on the control side versus Delver, is like 1-for-1 trade for each creature, because like most of the time the creature go out on the side of the Delver side.
Yep,
so you lose your fuel basically.
If he aggressively trades 1-for-1 on his cards, with my cards, not only creatures but other cards, then he just is left with some combo pieces, most probably, which don't do anything in the sense of interacting with the board. And then a Food Chain is really bad if your opponent has a Murktide and you don't have anything.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I think one of the crucial cards here is like the how is it called? The Icefiend Quattle.
Yeah, like here he just uses a combo piece to trade 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Which is kind of rough because
and I think you're delirious here. Am I right?
Yeah, it also puts me on delirium with the creature.
Yeah.
Which also, if he played 8 prismatic ending and 4 swords, or 3 prismatic ending and 4 swords, he would have 7 ways to exile my creatures, which is important because my graveyard matters a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is something really, really hard. And the Wasteland here.
Yeah, just a cherry on the top.
Yeah.
It's not really necessary because it doesn't destroy his game, but it just slows him down. Yeah. And that's the way Delver wants to win. Play a creature, slow him down.
Yeah, and now he asks for delirium.
Either delirium or checking life totals.
And was delirium. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Drawing for turn.
And I think we also confirmed his life total of fetching once and getting hit twice with a 1/1.
Yeah, and I think it should go down by 1/2.
Yeah, now it's in 16.
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, here we kind of want to see Icefiend Quattles and stuff like that.
Icefiend Quattle would be huge.
I mean, it still doesn't have Death Touch, which is quite a bummer.
Yeah, it does if it has a third land drop.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just a simple pass.
So what did I bottom here? It's a green. It's a red card. It's unholy heat from the artwork.
Yeah. Which doesn't do that much here, and yeah, just a pass back.
I mean, I like unholy heat here because it can be a panic button to kill an error.
Yeah. Force Pitch Griffin.
Yeah, which is a play that signals me that I should be ahead now because he exiles a combo piece and a card and uses a card.
I mean, the Griffin is basically free to exile here.
That's true, but it's not a great signal that he has to interact with my value spell and can't keep the Force of Will for his combo because I don't think he's winning this game on a fair basis now. He just has to.
I think Fujin always wins on the unfair engine here. The question is now if he can get another land drop, and if he misses his land drop again, it's really, really unfortunate for Toby to miss like 3 turns for his land drop.
Like I'm looking at the sideboard right now, and unfortunately the deck list is too long for Toby. I only see 12 sideboard cards because I was wondering how good can he sideboard into just control, which would be my way to go here.
Yeah.
From what I see, there would be maybe the 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Sword of the Blushes, and 1 Endurance going in for combo pieces.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the other cards are. So, unfortunately, the deck list is really, really long. I mean, it's not the Uran deck list, but blue is always really hard with these one-offs in the mana base.
The one-offs. So yeah, in the meantime, I just won by repeatedly hitting my opponent in the face.
Yeah, as Delver does.
But I don't know, I think this was the play I wanted actually to talk about, where I didn't cast my bolt until his upkeep, so I had Force of Negation backup.
Yeah. Yeah, which
I think we kind of missed, but it's just bolting your opponent with extra steps.
True. So, yeah. Basically, we have here the sideboarding. We have like the blue Elemental Blast, the Can coming versus Delver. We have another Swords to Plowshares. We most likely have the Endurance and the Veil of Summer. Veil of Summer.
Depending on what the other 3 cards are.
Yeah.
Veil of Summers are not no must include. They are nice if you can include them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't force it here. Because if you have 3 really nice cards to put in, it could be that you don't want to overboard.
I think I like them more than the Force of Will's here, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, Force of Will is nice because you can exile the Mist Griffin. So maybe you even keep them in.
Yeah. On my end, I probably would put in some amount of Pyroblast or Elemental Blasts. Not all of them, I think. And I definitely would put in the Surgicals.
For the Fujin?
For the Uro.
For the Uro. Sure. So
just because I expect my opponent to board into a BANT midrange to BANT control style. And then the Surgical is really great. The good thing is with Delver is you have so much card selection that you really can just afford to have semi-dead cards like a Surgical that isn't that great because you can just select your card really well.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah. So we saw you boarding in 2 cards. Is this correct?
I don't know. Only 2?
I mean...
That's a Brazen Borrower out, which kind of makes sense, maybe.
It's...
I don't really have...
And then Unholy Heat, I think, yeah.
I don't really have Petty Theft targets. I don't think Unholy Heat out is correct, because it's quite good matchup. I think I don't like my boarding here.
Yeah.
Because if I only put 2 cards in, that probably means I put 2 Pyroblasts or 1 Pyroblast, 1 Elemental Blast in.
Yeah. So you're basically left to death against the Duoro.
Yeah, I also boarded out my Unholy Heat against the Duoro. Maybe I just didn't think about Duoro.
I think it was an Unholy Heat because it was a red card in it, and you play different looking bolts and different looking Dragonite Channelers. So, I mean, yeah, we will see. I mean, it kind of looked like an end to festivities, to be honest, but I don't think that you put it up here.
No, they have the same color scheme though.
Yeah.
Of being dark with some weird splashes.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's see what the cards are.
There's 2 Pyroblasts in my hand, so I definitely boarded 1 in. I boarded both in because I didn't play 1 main in this event. So that should be the mystery solved.
Yeah.
Also, if I saw correctly, I have had a no-lander, so that should be a mulligan.
Yeah.
Mulligans on both sides of the table.
Which should favor the Delver deck. Low resources are good for Delver, normally.
Yeah. I mean, on the last event in Bologna, I had to mulligan 2 free cards down with Delver with no lander, Mystic Sanctuary, 1 lander, no lander. That's 4, yeah.
Did you won?
No, I played at the Delver Mirror. He bolted my Delver, I had nothing.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's like pretty game over on a Malto 3. I mean, the best Malto 3 is like...
I had an insane Malto 3. I had Fetchland, Ponder, Delver, which is a good Malto 3, but it's still a Malto 3.
I mean, the best Malto 3 is like... how's it called? Basically, Entomb Reanimate and the land. Or Lines of Diamond and Echo Fields. But we are
just
on
any
the
card with Bizarre Spectre.
That's true.
Different format, but yeah.
But here we have like a turn 1 Delver for your side.
And I like Mystic's card hand. I think it was a Pyroblast, 2 lands, 1 Delver, and something else. If it's a cantrip, it's a really good hand.
Yeah.
And it is a Brainstorm. It was 1 Brainstorm and 2 Brainstorm, and it's...
So double Brainstorm, Dragonite Channel, Pyroblast. It's stacked. It's basically stacked.
Yeah.
So we have the ending here, which is good.
Yeah, it's just standard play, which is good.
But yeah, I think we just Dragonite Channel land.
Yeah,
pass.
just keep applying pressure.
Yeah.
Here's the question: if you want to do Brainstorm first, so you can fetch afterwards, or if you want to Dragonite Channel first. I think Dragonite Channel is correct because then you can keep your second land untapped if there comes a blue card I want to handle, for example.
Yeah, something like a Manipulate Fate or something like that.
Yeah, or an Hull Breacher.
Or an Hull Breacher, that's
which just in 3 mana could be.
Which is a card that Toby is now playing as a 2 in the main deck.
Yeah.
And
which is nice.
This is another. What are the cards in your graveyard currently?
2 lands.
Okay, 2 lands.
Because I played the Delver turn 1 of a fetch land.
Yeah.
And fetched turn 2, and my Delver got exiled.
And theoretically, you could, if it would have been something else, you could have like pyroblasted to put something else into the bin. And with the spell pierce, if I remember that correctly.
I did bought 3 cards then, because that's the third blast. It's the random blast.
Okay. Sure. So basically the DRC is now gone. And we have the blasts to handle. Oh, you aggressively force of will here.
Yeah.
And the trigger does remove a card? Or do you like them?
I had 2 blasts on top and I removed 1.
Okay.
Because I wanted other cards than blast.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of need cards to put pressure on. And unfortunately, we don't see the graveyard here.
Yeah.
It's a Ponder.
But the Ponder, so it should be
Not Delirious.
Not.
No, you have no creature in the bin.
Yeah, maybe.
You have instant sorcery and land. But do we have a land here? And the question is, do we aggressively Murktide here? And I think the answer is yes.
If I did bought 3 cards out, but which it should look like, it's probably the case that I only have 1 bubble left in the deck.
Yeah.
So I'm now definitely not Delirious.
No, it's only lands.
Here I noticed that I don't have my dice with me.
But it's an 8/8, and
But
it's
a
plus
dead
8.
It's 2 mana, gain 8 life.
And discard a card for your opponent. So
Yeah, and exile your graveyard.
and exile my
Most
own
of your
graveyard.
graveyard.
Expressive iteration. Not spinning the Delver. Okay.
You could also go for exiling Delver, putting for the will in the hand there.
Which was something that I would like. And I think milling the Delver would also be a play that is quite okay, because you get...
Yeah, but it loses against this one, for example. The Coddle.
Okay.
It's the problem if you have only 1 threat, then it gets dealt with. So I think diversifying your threats against a deck that doesn't run Terminus, because that's not a card you run in a combo focus deck.
Yeah, Terminus is currently a card that is a little bit or gets a little bit of an hype back, because some grinders online play it.
Yeah. And if Toby would play BANT control, then Terminus would definitely be on the table.
Yeah.
But it would be very untypically for a Fujin deck to play it.
Yeah. But I personally really, really like Terminus. It's such a good card.
Yeah.
And we see here another Swords of Plowshares. Getting yourself a little bit of life back.
Like, this Pyroblast was on top of my deck in 3 different occasions, I think, this game.
Yeah. And Pyroblast basically is pretty strong against the card that we will see in the near future.
I really was excited to Pyroblast and Euro here as he tapped 3 lands, but then sadly it was a Recruiter, which probably just got removal Ballista here.
I mean, the problem is, like, he already used the Ballista and he is only playing 2 Ballistas. He doesn't have any win condition left.
I can outvalue me. With
True.
Like, I mean, the unfair value with an active food chain where you can just play all your Mystical Griffins every turn. And also he has his Graces. You can win with the Grasses. With just the Graces for like 20. Gain 2 life, draw 10 cards.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too. And it's basically like not infinite life, but a lot of life.
And also 2020.
Also 2020, that's true. Does we have a days here? Yeah.
Hardcast days here.
Yeah. Pretty strong. I mean, you would have been dead.
I would have been fine, because I could have Pyroblasted his Mystical Griffin.
Yeah, true.
I think he doesn't have Eternal Scourge in hand. If he has Eternal Scourge in hand, then I would be dead,
Yeah. I mean,
That's a welcome list and 2 Griffins here.
Yeah.
Here, Toby gets punished by being premature, because if he had waited for his Force of Will to draw, the game would be really different, because then the Fujin would have resolved. No, it wouldn't because of the Pyroblast, but it...
Yeah.
could have been resolved. Like, you could have played around that while still on 9 life.
Yeah,
But it's also different because if he draws an extra card, I can draw an extra card in the turn as well, and my cards are not that bad.
Yeah, the position is like he stumbled in game 1 with mana, and he stumbles now in game 3 with mana.
Game 2.
Like, in game 2 with mana. So it's like pretty hard for him to,
And yeah, that's Bolt.
First pitch Griffin.
And that's the play I talked about, where I pass the turn.
Yeah.
To have Force of Negation up.
Yeah, in the upkeep.
Yeah.
So
Bolt in the upkeep.
Yeah, pretty nice gameplay here, and that's basically both semifinals concluded. We have you in the finals as our blue-red Delver player, and we have Franz in the finals with mono-red Starkey.
I don't understand myself here. Why do you board in Meddling Hex?
I mean, if they're going the slow route, you have
it's
like
a creature-based combo, and they board a lot more than 3 cards. I don't know why you said they board 3 cards.
Because I only saw 2 cards in the middle that you put out. So, yeah. So, but no search again, right?
No search again. No, I don't like my boarding here.
But yeah.
But never punished.
Never punished. Didn't even saw a Maddening Hex. So
didn't even say on Euro the whole game, even in his hand.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically
I mean, when we did saw Maddening Hex in a situation where we definitely shouldn't have seen Maddening Hex.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And we see here the swords, the Blue Blast, the 2 Veil of Summer, and most likely an Endurance that was boarded on the side of Toby. So yeah, see you in the finals.